They said he was mad, that he lost his mind for a woman who never returned his love. But Rumi said something different. He wasn't mad. He was the only one who understood what real love was. This is the story of Majnun, the man who let go of the woman he loved, and in doing so, found something deeper than love. He found God. This is from Rumi's Masnavi, and I will try to narrate in easiest language. In the vast deserts of Arabia, there lived a boy named Qais, noble family, brilliant poet, gentle soul, but the world would soon forget his name because he would be remembered forever as Majnun, the madman. Why? Because of one girl.
Her name was Layla.
She was poetry, walking on 2 feet, radiant, sharp, and full of soul. Qais saw her once in school, and the world collapsed into a single moment. A look, a heartbeat, a silence that changed his life. And from that day, his heart was no longer his own. He wrote verses in her name.
He whispered to the winds, sang to the stars.
Layla, Layla, Layla. At first, people laughed. Ah, young love. But this wasn't love, not the kind they knew. Qais stopped eating. He would walk the streets barefoot, calling out her name. He'd write her poems in the sand, even though the wind would erase them. Because he wasn't writing for her eyes, he was writing for her soul. Soon, the people gave him a name, Majnun, the madman. But to Majnun, it wasn't madness. He said, they think I've lost my mind. But it's only that I've lost everything else except her. Majnun finally confessed his love. And Layla felt it. She always had. But their love wasn't welcome. Her father said, how can I give my daughter to a man who has lost his senses? He's not a suitor, he's a lunatic. Majnun was forbidden from seeing her, and Layla was married off to another. The world expected Majnun to move on, to curse her, to hate her. But instead, he did something else. He let her go. He vanished into the desert, not with anger, not with revenge, but with silence and a broken heart that still whispered her name. Majnun wandered for years, alone, no wealth, no comfort, no Layla. Only the wind and the stars and verses he murmured into the sand. I let her go, but she walks within me still. Every breath I take is the sound of her footsteps in my chest. Animals became his companions. The desert became his home, and his poetry reached the heavens. Rumi says, Majnun didn't love Layla. He loved the mirror of divine beauty that appeared in her face. Layla lived in a golden cage. She had a husband, a home, servants. But none of it touched her heart, because every night her soul cried out for the one who had truly seen her. Not her body, not her beauty, but her essence. She would walk to the edge of her palace garden barefoot, hoping to hear a whisper in the wind. Majnun, where are you? She received his poems, somehow reaching her hands, scratched into bark, carved into rocks, blown by the desert. Each verse reminded her, he let me go and never cursed me. He didn't chain me, he freed me, and I am still his, though he never claimed me. Layla's health began to fade. No medicine could heal her, because what she had was a heart dying of silence. She whispered to her maid one night, I need to see him one last time, not as lovers, not to run away, just to see his eyes again and say thank you. They sent a message. Majnun, now worn like an old tree, walked barefoot for days. He stood outside her garden trembling, but before she could reach him, she collapsed. The pain of years, the poison of longing, it all ended that day. Layla was gone. Majnun stood at her grave. He said no words. He just laid beside it, placed one hand on the soil and closed his eyes. Days passed.
When villagers found him, he was still there, cold but smiling.
They buried him next to her. 2 graves, one soul. Rumi, who loved this tale, once said, Majnun didn't die for Layla. He died into Layla, into the love that was beyond her. Layla was the candle, Majnun was the moth. But in chasing the light, he burned everything else away. His pride, his name, his identity, and in the ashes remained only love. Not needing, not having, just being. Rumi explained, what you seek is seeking you, but it can only return when you're empty enough to receive it. Majnun let Layla go, not because he stopped loving her, but because he knew real love is not possession. You don't own what you love. You don't cage it. You don't demand it. You become a space open, vast, waiting. And if they return, it was always meant to be. And if they don't, you were still changed by the love. That's what Rumi teaches. Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in another form. Because sometimes the one you love doesn't come back as a person. They return as wisdom, as strength, as poetry that touches millions. Just like Majnun. I died as a mineral and became a plant. I died as a plant and rose to animal. I died as animal and I was man. Why should I fear? When was I less? By dying. Rumi